As you know, the Mahalakshmi principle lies within all of you in the center. And once you are fed up with the falsehood and also with the hypocrisy of people, you start seeking the truth within. That's how a new category of people are born, who are called as seekers, sadhakas. They're very different from others. They don't care for any material gain or any power, position. They want to seek the truth. And this category is the one you are. And that's why you have come to Satyuga. This comes from your past lives also. For many people, I think it's their past life which has brought the seeking in them. Also, the affluence through which you have gone, you got fed up with it, and you are seeking the truth. So now, first of all, to understand Mahalakshmi principle, we must know that we have two other channels into which we can jump. One is the left, another is the right. And it depends on what sort of a background you had in this life. Because of your background in last life, you have come to the right path. But last life is being covered by this life, the surroundings, the country in which you are born, your friends, parents, the society in which you lived has dominated you in so many ways that the Mahalakshmi principle doesn't express itself in that full power. We should really suck in everything else and put you onto the throne of a Sahajogi. Now, for a Sahajogi to keep his Mahalakshmi principle all right, has to always introspect, not to look at others, but to introspect. What am I doing? Am I in the left side or on the right side? Which side am I? What side I am following? Am I in the center? Now, how will you judge? The best is to feel your vibrations. Feel your vibrations. But sometimes you go so far to the left or to the right that you just do not feel vibrations, your Mahalakshmi principle is not working. Then you go on. It's like a complete derailment, I should say, a kind of a slope on which you just go on falling onto that. So all these conditionings we should watch out in ourselves and in others. How we have got these problems that we slip out from the central path. Imagine a train is going on a proper railway track and suddenly it starts moving this way or that way. So where will it end? Into destruction. But you have a way of arranging that this derailment can be brought back to the middle path. So in a very detached way, if you look at yourself like a witness and see for yourself, not about others. Even when I give lectures, people start saying, oh, mother is saying about somebody else. No, I'm saying about you, yourself. So you watch out that are you in the center or are you going to the left or to the right? First of all, those who are in the center should not have any physical problems, should be able to completely cure themselves. If not others, they should be able to cure themselves. Secondly, a person who is in the center is a very peaceful person. He's never angry. He might put up a show that you are angry, but he doesn't get involved into anger or any emotions whatsoever. He just watches and he can act. He can act to be in that feeling of temper, also lust, greed, anything, but just to act because sometimes this acting is needed so he can use it. But you should be sure, first of all, that you are completely detached. So, first of all, before acting, you must become a master of acting. And for that, you have to become yourself. If you become yourself, then you are a master and you can see where are you going. Now, the difference between a Sajogi and a Sajogi who is like this, as you say, is this, that he is capable of going to the left or to the right. They are not solidly Sajogis. And they go on like this and there's no progress. Imagine any aeroplane which is wobbling like that will be on the ground only. Nobody will be able to put it up in the air because God knows when will it fall down. So for any machinery, we have to fix it up properly first before we start working it out. So to fix up our Mahalakshmi principle, you have to see that your physical being is all right, is normal, no problem. I'm not meaning the modern ways of looking at health, but that you should feel healthy and happy. You should feel that there's no problem with your physical being. But if you are complaining like I'm here paining, I'm paining there, then there's something wrong with you. This is the first criteria that you are in the center. Then your attention should be more towards nature, how the nature is, how it is blossoming, how it is working out. It should be towards the sky, stars, and things, just to enjoy all the creation that is around, just to enjoy it. That's an enjoyment which is really so surprisingly deep. When you see something beautiful, scene or something, you go to a very beautiful place, then a kind of a joy that pours in you from your sahasrara, that also you must experience. Also, you must experience your thoughtless awareness. That is, when you look at something beautiful, you should suddenly become thoughtless. Just start seeing it. The whole joy will start pouring on you. All of you can know yourself very well because now you are quite sensitive and you have your own centers enlightened by Mahalakshmi principle. The Kundalini has definitely enlightened your Mahalakshmi principle. So you can always make out what my chakras are, how are they catching, where are they catching. Instead of avoiding that, you just work it out. What's the problem? Where is the problem? Once you work it out, then you'll be surprised that as soon as your desire goes inward, the Kundalini itself will gush through and she will cleanse your chakras. As I was telling you, we do not know our powers. Only one thing you have to do is to desire. You have to desire that let my vibrations be all right, let my chakras be cleared out, let me be in the center, in the balance. Just you have to desire. I mean, it's such a simple thing to desire, but that also we cannot do. Our desires are something else, not what we have to be. Just you have to desire that let me be a clean Sajogi, let me be a solid Sajogi. There are mediocres who can never be. I'm not talking about them. But so many can be very high up, can be very high up in Sajoga, but their desires are not yet being fully manifested. That is a damping effect of so many things I have told you. So, if supposing you have to catch the plane, then you don't get down on the way somewhere and stay out. In the same way, when your Kundalini has to rise, you can see everything that's happening, but keep yourself aloof because you have to reach your point, and that is through this Mahalakshmi principle. It nourishes our brain, our intellect, everything it nourishes. This Mahalakshmi principle, above all, it is the balancing. It balances. If you are overdoing something, then it gives you a kind of a push. If you are not doing anything, again, it works in such a manner that it balances. So, this is the guiding factor for you, this Mahalakshmi principle, which works out. Everything you can say that is balancing, the equilibrium, and the wisdom. As the light of Mahalakshmi principle starts, the wisdom dawns upon you. But the greatest of all is the love for God, love for truth. And you thrive on that love. Just you are there. So this Mahalakshmi principle is to be preserved and has to be always watched and looked into. And the blessings of Mahalakshmi are so many that I tell you, I cannot even tell them in one lecture. I'll have to give at least 10 lectures. But you yourself know what are the blessings of this Mahalakshmi principle is. The greatest is the complete self-contentedness. Absolutely self-content. You don't want to grab something, you don't want to run after something. It's just self-content. You don't want any publicity, you don't want any comfort, nothing. You are comfortable in your spirit. This is the greatest blessing of this Mahalakshmi principle. And if that is so, then why not we look after our Mahalakshmi principle and forget about the rest. Last of all, when it enters into your brain, then the Virata is manifesting and you become collective. Absolutely collective. Such a beautiful thing is to be collective. There was a girl who went to Sicily and she was in a restaurant eating something alone. And then she looked at somebody else and that girl also looked at her. And this one got up and came to her and she said, they were not bearing badges. They said, have you been to Sri Mataji? Yes. Have you been? Yes. We are Sajogis? Yes. And then they just embraced each other with such joy. In a far-fetched place somewhere in Sicily, in a some restaurant, imagine. They just got lost. The feeling of oneness, the brotherhood, the friendship is so great and so joyous. You don't then consider from what country you are, from where do you come, what is the color of your skin, or what is the religion you had followed, what your parents are. You just enjoy meeting people. This friendship, this joy comes from the same Mahalakshmi principle when she enlightens your Sahasrara. In the Sahasrara, you get this feeling of the whole. And the feeling of the whole is something so great. Individualism people talk, but it is against the principle of whole. Who do not know the whole, you see, talk of individualism. This individualism, which has worked all kinds of dangers for us now, we have to know that we are one with the whole. Of course, we are individuals in the sense that we have different faces, different clothes, different living, different relationships, but we belong to the whole. And this Virata's feeling that we are part and parcel of the whole, gives you complete peace and complete protection. You never feel that something can happen. No. Some accident will take place, all right, will take place, but nothing will happen to me. I am a surgeon. So many people have gained like this by allowing themselves to be completely looked after by this Mahalakshmi principle. Just surrender to the Mahalakshmi principle means that you give up your ego and you give up your conditionings. You give up both the things. Just surrendering to your Mahalakshmi principle. That's why Mahalakshmi is so important. May God bless you all.